Hey guys, I hope your Summit small groups are going really well. I'm super delighted to chat again with you today. So again, vulnerable moment. I'm an extremely messy, I don't want to say messy, maybe untidy person. Ever since I was a kid, I couldn't seem to keep my room clean, and this has only gotten worse and worse as I have become an adult. So my parents live in another state, and the other day my dad calls me up and he says, "Hey Lauren, I'd really love to come and visit. I'll be there in a week." I said, "Dad, great, that sounds awesome. No worries, I'm super excited to see you. I'll make dinner, etc., etc." And then I hung up the phone, and my first thought was, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this clean in a week? And I had this huge sense of panic as I looked out over a sea of dirty laundry, half-finished teacups, trash, everything. It's just a really livable scene. So I spent the next 7 days scrubbing every inch of my house. I bought a vacuum, I vacuumed, I did laundry, I cleaned the toilet, I cleaned the back of the toilet, which everyone knows is the worst. You gotta get real up close and personal with the toilet to even get to the back of the toilet. And at the end of the 7 days, everything gleamed. My dad, he knocked on the door, I opened it, he walked in, he says, "Ah, what a lovely apartment you have." And I was like, success, I did it. Now, I don't mean to compare my messy apartment to preparing for the end of the world, but it's close. And I think this reading lines up really great with this personal story, because there's a group of people and they're questioning Jesus and saying, "Jesus, tell us when the world is going to end." Now, Jesus doesn't respond with a date and time like, you know what, I didn't really like February, so we're just gonna cut it off there. No, instead, he gives some kind of ambiguous answer and then talks about some really difficult things that are going to happen before he comes back again. It's always really interested me that Jesus doesn't give that specific date. But as I begin to think it over a little bit more, it makes a lot of sense to me. And here's why. When I didn't know my dad was coming to visit, I had no incentive to clean my house, right? I had no zeal or passion for getting it clean to come on time. But if we start to live our lives in a way where Jesus could come back at any second, he could be back at 5:30, he could come back tomorrow, then we start to live in such a way that has anticipation and excitement for what's to come, rather than freaking out because we know the world's going to end on Thursday. Why does Jesus do this? In reading in the scripture about being led before emperors and kings and a lot of stressful things, I'm like, yikes, Jesus, that's a lot to handle. But I think that Jesus is inviting us in this scripture passage to prepare our hearts to be ready for him today, instead of procrastinating and waiting until the last minute when we think he's coming tomorrow. If I hadn't known my dad was coming, I wouldn't have had any kind of incentive or passion to get my apartment clean and spotless. But if I start to live in such a way as if my dad could show up at any time, at any unexpected moment, not only do I have a better quality of life, but I have a clean and welcome house for my dad. And the same kind of thing can go in the spiritual life. Instead of walking around questioning when Jesus is going to show up, asking for a date, what if we lived every single day as if Jesus was going to show up tomorrow? I love the quote, it's kind of cheesy, that says, "Live every day like it was your last." But there's something about living like today is our last day that gives us a greater perspective on the blessings and the beautiful things that are all around us. So my challenge for you is this. Is there something in your life that you've been putting off till tomorrow? Maybe it's, I'll go to confession tomorrow, or I'll start going to daily mass tomorrow, or I'll start reading my Bible tomorrow. If there's something that you've been putting off, hoping to start it tomorrow, let's move that into today. When we live like Jesus is coming back, at any moment, at any time, we live our life with passion and zeal. And because you never know, maybe he'll be back today, or maybe he'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you plan to start today in the comment section. If you liked it, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you guys next week.